What's up guys, it's Jesse from the Power of Adventure. I'm a master electrician and van builder, and today we're going to be installing a Velit diesel heater in a 2024 Sprinter camper van. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so we're going to break this video down into 4 parts. 1, we're going to do an unboxing. 2, we'll install the unit. 3, we'll go over the operation of how to use it. And 4, we'll go over why we chose to use this unit in this camper van. Alright, so let's get into the unboxing. Here we have the warranty information and instructions. This is the fuel filter, fuel connectors, and fuel line. Here's the louver. This is the internal ducting. This is the external exhaust pipe. Mounting flange. Lots of connectors, gaskets. Here we have our muffler and our fuel pump. And of course, we have our heater unit. I always start by prepping as much inside the shop before I take the heater out to the van. So here you'll see me putting on the mounting flange. Next, I will mount the combustion exhaust pipe and the combustion intake pipe. I secure them with a screwdriver and finish it with a handheld screwdriver, just not to over tighten it. And we'll also connect the fuel line at this time. I just leave enough to get to the fuel pump if you already know where it's going to be. Okay, here is the unit prepped and ready to be installed in the van. And here's a quick detail of the fuel connection. Here you'll see I have the fuel pump and fuel filter prepped. I have 2 connectors on it. I'll just simply slide one back and tighten it there. And here's the connector that will attach to the auxiliary port on the 2024 Sprinter gas tank. The pre-installed wire harness has 3 tails on it, one for power. There's another for the wall controller, and then our last tail will be for the fuel pump. And this has pre-crimped connectors on it that you simply push into a waterproof connector. The most popular location for this heater is under the passenger seat, so let's learn how to take it off. The first and most important step is to disconnect the starter battery, and this is the easiest way to do it. After waiting 20 minutes after turning off the vehicle, you can simply just unplug this ground post. That will essentially disconnect your starter battery. Here's the post with the connector off. And now we can disconnect the connectors for the seat. If you should do it before you disconnect the starter battery, you will get a check engine light. You also have to remove 4 bolts that connect the seat to the seat base. With the seat off, we're now ready to install the heater. Here's the heater dry fitted. I have it flipped upside down just to mimic the footprint. We're going to draw cold air from up front and blow hot air to the living space. Here's where the heater outlet will be. We'll use this louver. We're going to cut a hole there, and that will be a short piece of duct right to the outlet of the heater. Here I'll be using a 4-inch hole saw, but first I'll use a 1/4-inch pilot bit to drill down to make sure we know where we're coming out. And here's a view from underneath. You can see our hole right there. Now that we're confident in the location, we'll use our 4-inch hole saw and make the penetration for the heater. It's important to clean up all the metal shavings and paint any raw metal edges to prevent rust in the future. Alright, here I'm just going to do a little test fit to make sure everything works and looks good. Alright, perfect fit. Let's keep this install moving. Here I'm using a little fire-rated sealant to create a gasket between the heater and the floor. I will be mounting the heater with 4 self-tapping hex head screws right through the flange into the floor. Now that we have the heater fastened, we can work on all the other connections. We are going to start with the exhaust pipe. Here I'm cutting it with a bandsaw, but you can also use a hacksaw if you don't have one. I'm going to be drilling a 1/4-inch hole in this upright flange to provide support for the muffler. And I will be using the provided 90-degree bracket to mount it. Here I will cut a smaller piece just to extend the pipe past the edge of the van so carbon monoxide does not pool up under the van. It's very important to keep your exhaust pipe pitched down the entire way to prevent condensation buildup and inevitable rust. I also like to keep the exhaust pipe pitched away from the direction of travel just to prevent anything getting in the exhaust pipe. And here I've fastened the combustion intake pipe as far away from the exhaust as possible. Okay, let's start on the fuel line. From the gas tank, it will first go to a fuel filter. The orientation should be vertical, and there is an arrow on it marking its orientation. And here we have the fuel pump prepped with its mounting flange and connectors. The fuel pump is also directional and must be mounted on a pitch to allow for fuel to drain out. And here's the gas tank underneath the vehicle. Here's the auxiliary fuel connection. There will be a cap that must be removed, and the new connector will simply snap on. From the auxiliary fuel port, we will run a line to our fuel filter. Make note of the orientation, and then from the fuel filter, we will run a fuel line to the fuel pump. Again, take note of the orientation. And finally, we will make the connection from the fuel pump to the heater. It's important to keep the fuel line protected from damage or excessive heat. Here I've used an additional heat sleeve to protect it while crossing near the exhaust pipe. I will also mention that the wire for the fuel pump must be run underneath the van to the pump as well. Alright guys, now that we have the unit installed, we've run the wire to the controller, we've powered up the unit, and now we're going to start it up for the first time. And here is your main screen, which will show the temperature of the room and the temperature set point. The dial will adjust the set point and other parameters like the fan speed. The next screen is your auto start time, and then your auto run time. Here is where you set the actual time of day. This heater is equipped with a cleaning mode, which is nice, and also has a fuel pump priming mode, which is really nice. Most don't have that, and here's what that priming sounds like. You'll want to prime the line until gas is all the way to the heater. Once primed, we are ready to turn it on. Get back to the main screen and hold the main button for 2 seconds, and this little heating icon will appear. Even with the gas line primed, it may take the heater a few times to initiate the heat, so just keep turning on and off. So some of the reasons that we chose to install a Velit diesel heater as opposed to some of the other brands is that simply it comes with everything you need to put it in your van. In our first van, we ran into a lot of complication. We installed a Webasto gasoline heater. The hardest part about it was hashing through what wall controller you need, which wiring harness you need. The heater was great once we figured it all out, but the initial setup was rather difficult. So we decided to try something else, and this was an all-inclusive package. It really came through. We've had the heater installed for about 6 months now, and everything is running perfectly. I installed it in the fall, and so I was able to test it through the winter, and it kept the space extremely warm as the build continued, and there's more insulation in the walls and ceilings. It just got better. So really impressed with the output of the unit. Another tip that I can give you about running diesel heaters in camper vans is that many people want to set the wall thermostat for a particular temperature and set it and forget it. I generally recommend against that. What can happen is that the heater needs to get so hot to clean itself. It's usually about 10-15 minutes, and the problem can become that the heater heats the space up so quickly it'll actually never run for 15 minutes, so it's never cleaning itself. So it can build up carbon over time, and that can become a problem. It'll actually, hinder the performance of it, or even it may not function at all. And that's the last thing you want. So we always recommend to get a heater with a timer, a programmable timer, which this one has, of course. And so you can set timers for at least 15 minutes. Let's say that you set, 3 timers throughout the night for 15 minutes, and that way, you have heat all the way through the night, and you know that every time the heater is getting hot enough to clean itself. Big tip I would give to anybody running a gasoline or a diesel heater in a van. Overall, the experience was very simple. This is about my 10th heater I put in. It definitely gets easier as they go. They're all quite similar, but this one in particular was very easy just because it just comes with everything you need. So really pleased with that. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave it below. We are fully licensed and insured installers. If you think that any of our services could be of use to you, you can find us at powerofadventure.us on the internet. You can find us at Power of Adventure on Instagram, or Graver Electric LLC on Facebook. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate your time. We'll see you on the next one.